8 of the field of 14 started in the Inter-Dominion Championships, including this mare, number 13, Bonnie's Chance, the favourite, at $1.50 and $1.10. No luck at all in the Pacers Grand Final, you'll recall, at Auckland last Saturday night when she was badly checked on the home turn, and that put paid to her chances. The same thing happened to her in the Auckland Cup, so something of an Alexandra Park hoodoo on the mare. She's been unbeaten on this track this year, winner of the New Zealand Cup back in November, the Pan Am Mile in February, and she looks cherry ripe for this big assignment. She's off 10 metres, but she's normally a splendid beginner from a stand, and I would think that given any luck at all in the running, Richard Brosnan will get this mare home once again.
Yeah, I'm leading to 14 now.
And there's the back marker, number 14, hands down. Peter Jones, the driver. You'll remember a very impressive winner of the last of the Pacers Consolations at Auckland on Saturday night, and this horse going for a unique treble today. He's already won the last 2 Easter Cups on a trot. No horse has ever won this race 3 years in a row, and hands down from 25 metres behind perhaps will have the job in front of him. But he's tough, he's rugged, he's a doer stayer, and the harder they go in front, the better it will be for him. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can achieve what has been the impossible, and that is win 3 consecutive Easter Cups. Zabadak, number 6 in the background. Robert Cameron, the driver today. Ran third in one of the Inter-Dominion races at Auckland, but was generally a bit disappointing. Provided he makes a safe beginning from the middle of the front row, will be thereabouts, I would imagine. But interestingly enough, his usual driver, Gavin Hampton, has opted to drive Kind Nature this afternoon, and that perhaps would indicate that Gavin feels that that particular horse might have a better chance than Zabadak. But Robert Cameron, in rare form this afternoon, already the driver of 2 winners, including Lil's Choice, who is from the Devery stable, and Alan Devery, of course, trains Zabadak as well as Stampede, who's also in the race.
Way in the Easter Cup, beginning pretty well. Hilarious Guest has made the lead, is followed out by Solaris going up to join her. Then Zabadak, and further into Stampede. They were followed around by False Regal being hurried along, and also is beginning fairly well. Wider out on the track would be Dundas. They were followed by Kind Nature. In behind those, then they were followed by Trilobal. Back in the field, Bonnie's Chance has gone away on a break, and she's breaking badly. She hasn't got into stride. She's Commander Gretton has gone back on top of her, so she's in all the bad luck in the world. Quiet Wind's gone ahead of her. Hands down has scurried around from 25. Now you can forget about Bonnie's Chance. She must be 100 metres from the leader. They race their way round the bend of the straight. 2,600 to run. Hilarious Guest has made the lead from Solaris. Got into trail. False Regal over on the outside. Back in behind those, then the Kind Nature is joined on the outside by Dundas, getting into a good trailing place on the outside of Trilobal. Zabadak was next. It was followed back on the inside of those by Stortford Lodge, then Kind Nature. Amaze just in the back of Kind Nature, 3 lengths to hands down. He's being joined on the inside by Quiet Wind. Bonnie's Chance, she's making up ground in grand style. She's only about 6 lengths behind the bunch, and there's 8 or 9 lengths to Commander Grattan. Hilarious Guest, the leader, going for the showgrounds turn. Hilarious Guest now by about 1.5 lengths from Solaris, trailing on the rails behind those. They were followed by Stampede, and over on the outside of that then, and moving forward all the time is Trilobal. No, it's not Trilobal. Moving forward over on the outside of that runner then, as they race to the back, was False Regal. False Regal over on the outside is being followed all the way then by Zabadak, and back on the inside to Stortford Lodge. Kind Nature next with Quiet Win and Amaze. They were followed over on the outside by Hands Down, and believe it or not, Bonnie's Chances Brighton behind Hands Down, and these two, they're going around the field. Commander Grattan at the back of the field. Hilarious Guest has kept the pace fairly slow over the last 5 or 600 metres, but down the back they travel. 1,800 to run. Hilarious Guest by 2 lengths from Solaris. Here's Hands Down now, and he's moving around 3 wide to be up towards the leader. Bonnie's Chances followed him at every stride. They were followed back on the inside of those then by Stampede. On the outside to False Regal, followed around wider out on the track by Zabadak, getting into a Trilobal back on the rail. Just in between those two then would have been Dundas. They were followed by Kind Nature. Buried in behind them, Stortford Lodge and Quiet Win. Amaze the outside, and Commander Grattan last in a packed field. 1,400 metres to go. Hilarious Guest, the leader from Hands Down. Zabadak has now moved up on the outside, but 3 wide. Solaris still getting the trail behind the leader. False Regal next. Bonnie's Chances, 3 wide. Stampede the rail. Dundas in the centre, then Trilobal followed by Amaze. Kind Nature followed back on the inside of those by Stortford Lodge, then Quiet Win and Commander Grattan last and about 12 lengths from the leader. On the showgrounds bend they go, just over 1,000 metres to run. Hilarious Guest and Jack Smolenski calling the tune in front by a length from Zabadak. Solaris just getting the trail on the inside and Hands Down parked in the outer. They were followed back on the inside by Stampede. Then False Regal and Trilobal, followed by Dundas. In behind those, the inside would have been Stortford Lodge and Amaze. They were followed by Commander Grattan and Kind Nature, Quiet Win. And Bonnie's Chance, she's tired now. And she's drifting off the back of the pack as they travel down the back. 700 metres to run. Hilarious Guest by a length and a quarter. Up on the outside too, Zabadak is followed back on the inner by Solaris. Stampede and Hands Down, they were followed by False Regal, Trilobal. Quiet Win starting to put in a staying run round the outside, and Dundas is keeping him wider. Kind Nature next, followed by Stortford Lodge, Commander Grattan and Amaze. Round to the 400 they come. Hilarious Guest by 2 lengths now. She's got them doing their best. Over on the outside, Zabadak, Hands Down starting to attack. Solaris has had the run of the race if it's good enough. They were followed by Stampede starting to come out for a run, and further back to Kind Nature and Dundas. At the 200 though, and Hilarious Guest is clear. Hands Down now is out to try and chase after her. Hilarious Guest, she's starting to stop a little, and Hands Down, he's going the 3 in a row, and he's coming down the outside in grand style. Hilarious Guest, Hands Down's done it 3 in a row, and he wins it up on the outside from Hilarious Guest. Third home Stampede. Kind Nature, Trilobal, Solaris, Zabadak, followed in by Dundas, or just in front of Dundas, Stortford Lodge. Then Quiet Win, Commander Grattan, False Regal, Amaze, and Bonnie's Chance pulled out and didn't complete the journey. Well, history made, 14 Hands Down. First.
Well, there you've seen it. A remarkable performance by one of the greatest staying horses we've ever seen racing in this country, that's for sure. Hands Down, number 14, wins it. And there is Bonnie's Chance, who was pulled up with about 1,000 metres to run. Don't quite know what happened, but let's get back to the winner. And there he is, 14 Hands Down. That's 3 consecutive Easter Cups, and that's never been done before. A remarkable staying effort. He sat without cover for a good part of the race, and here's how he came home to win the Cup. They've got 400 metres to go here, and you can see Hilarious Guest is doing very well indeed. She's got the field slipped at this stage. Solaris is in the trail doing nothing. Zabadak has done a lot of work, but he can't come on. And Hands Down with a shadow blind, 3 wide, is the only one that looks like making a race of it. Now at this stage, Hilarious Guest looks home and dry. She's got 3 lengths on the field, but watch Hands Down and Peter Jones as they knuckle down to produce this powerhouse finishing burst that actually wins the Easter Cup very convincingly in the end. Hilarious Guest, she's starting to stop. She's got the staggers a wee bit. Jack Smolenski getting very worried indeed. He can see out of the corner of his eye, Hands Down zooming down the centre of the track. You can see the dust flying. You can see this horse with a heart as big as himself go to the front with about 10 strides to go and wins it by about 3/4 of a length. A remarkable performance. Hands Down first, Hilarious Guest second. Let's have a look. It looks as though Stampede probably ran on and got the 3rd place. And there's the winner, number 14, Hands Down. Redeems himself completely after some pretty indifferent form early on in the Inter-Dominions. A very good win in the last Pacers Consolation, and a remarkable effort to win the Lion Brown Easter Cup here at Addington this afternoon. Didn't look as if it was possible for Hilarious Guest to be pegged back with about 100 metres to go, and this horse just wore her down and won going away. It's a great hand as he comes back to scale. A great effort. It's his 25th win, I think, from memory. And he certainly makes a habit of racing well here at Addington. And his owners, Mr. and Mrs. Bill McCautry from Omarama, up there in the Mackenzie country, are here today and undoubtedly will be as thrilled as Peter Jones and his father, Derek, will be over the splendid return to form by this wonderful stayer. Dividends are available. And 14 Hands Down has paid $4.25 and $1.65. Number 3, Hilarious Guest for second, $2.75. 2 Stampede for third, paid $2.80. $4.25 and $1.65. 14 the winner, Hands Down. $2.75 Hilarious Guest for second, $2.80 for third for number 2 Stampede. The 4th horse home was Kind Nature, and Trilobal finished the best of the others.